afternoon, welcome to the World News at noon on Honor 103.5 FM. And the news this afternoon, Obasanjo Sultan of Sokoto Dogara ordered prominent figures to storm Ibadan for Honor 103.5 FM co-sponsored World Interfaith Conference. On the African news, rebel groups in Congo declare humanitarian ceasefire. And on the foreign scene, Israel and Hamas ready for negotiations on Gaza ceasefire. In business, Nigeria and Uganda strengthen trade ties. On entertainment, in Nigeria's Grammy Awards winner Thames acknowledges Sheyi Shodimu's role in her success. Welcome once again to the news. I am Timi Tokwe Dada. Now the news in detail. A groundbreaking conference aimed at promoting peace and understanding among diverse faith communities is set to take place tomorrow, February 5, 2025, at the Trenchard Hall, University of Ibadan. The World Interfaith Harmony Week Conference and Awards will feature former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo and former Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, as keynote speakers. The conference, organized by Honor 103.5 FM and PANAF Publishers in collaboration with the United Nations, will focus on the theme, the love of the good and the love of the neighbors. Other notable attendees include Governor Sheyi Makinde as special guest of honor and Senator Otunba Engineer Gbenga Daniel as chair of the conference. The event promises to be a significant gathering of prominent Nigerians united by a common goal of fostering peace and understanding among diverse faith communities. Also in the news this afternoon, the Nigerian Labour Congress has suspended its planned nationwide protest against the recent 50% hike in telecom tariffs. The Labour Union was scheduled to hold the rally today, but it was called off following a meeting with government representatives in Abuja on Monday. The meeting resulted in the establishment of a 10-member committee to review the tariff hike and propose solutions. The suspension of the protest is seen as a temporary reprieve for telecom operators who had faced a suspect of a nationwide shutdown. Still on the national news, former Oyo State Governor and Otun Olubado of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, has demanded a public apology from ex-Osun State Governor Chief B.C. Akonde over comments made about the mother of former Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Bola Ige. Ladoja, speaking to journalists at his residence in Ibadan, stated that Akonde must retract his claims and apologize or face legal action. Akonde had alleged in a recent podcast that Ladoja may have vital information regarding Bola Ige's mother. Ladoja has strongly denied these claims and is seeking a public apology. He emphasized that all options, including legal action, will be pursued if Akonde fails to withdraw his statement and apologize. Moving on to the African news, a surprise move from rebel groups in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as they declare a humanitarian ceasefire starting today. The alliance, which includes the Rwanda-backed M23 rebels, cited humanitarian reasons for the ceasefire after capturing territory in eastern parts of the country. The humanitarian toll of the conflict has been staggering, with the UN reporting at least 900 people killed and 2,880 injured in recent fighting. The international community has condemned the offensive, with the G7 nations and the EU labeling it as a shameless violation of Congo's sovereignty. And moving on to the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to meet with President Donald Trump today to discuss the future of the fragile Gaza ceasefire. Ahead of the meeting, Netanyahu's office announced that Israel will send a delegation to Qatar later this week for negotiations on the ceasefire. Hamas has expressed readiness to negotiate the second stage of the ceasefire, which is being mediated by Qatar, Egypt, and the United States. The meeting between Netanyahu and Trump is expected to focus on efforts to end the Gaza war and solidify the truce. And coming from South Korea also this afternoon, South Korea's impeached president Yoon Suk-yeol, he is back in court today for hearings that will decide his fate. Yoon, a former prosecutor, sparked a political crisis when he declared martial law on December 3, 2024, suspending civilian rule and deploying troops to parliament. He is currently being held in detention, but has been attending impeachment hearings at the Constitutional Court. The court's decision will determine whether Yoon's impeachment is upheld, paving the way for his potential removal from office. In the business report for this afternoon, Nigeria and Uganda have taken a significant step in boosting their trade relations following the appointment of Ugandan Trade Representative Annie Basse Ayo to Nigeria. This move is part of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The appointment paved the way for the signing of commitment to export orders, marking Uganda's first official shipment of goods to Nigeria. This strengthened trade relationship between Nigeria and Uganda is expected to foster economic growth and development in both countries. And on the entertainment news this afternoon, award-winning Nigerian artist Tems has expressed gratitude to veteran musician Seyi Shodimu following her second Grammy win. Tems took home the award for Best African Music Performance at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards in Los Angeles on Sunday. Her winning song, Love Me Jaja, is a remake of Shodimu's 1997 classic hit of the same title. Tems' win marked a triumphant moment for Nigerian music, and she was quick to acknowledge Shodimu's role in her success. In a post on a social media page, Tems thanked Shodimu for clearing the sample and supporting the resurgence of the song. Finally, on sport news this afternoon, Super Eagles striker Kelechi Iheanacho has completed his medicals with championship side Middlesbrough, paving the way for his loan move until the end of the season. The 28-year-old Nigerian international has agreed to join the club, with the option for the club to make the transfer permanent in the summer. Iheanacho's move comes after a difficult spell with Sevilla in Spain. Since joining the club from Leicester City last summer, he failed to score in 9 La Liga appearances, with only goals coming in Copa. The federal government has announced plans to reduce Nigeria's external debt financing as part of a broader strategy to explore alternative funding sources. And that'll be all for now on the World News at noon on 103.5 FM. Before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. On the national news this afternoon, we informed you that Obasanjo, Sultan of Sokoto Dogara, and other prominent figures are set to storm Ibadan for 103.5 FM co-sponsored World Interfaith Conference. And on the African news, rebel groups in Congo have declared humanitarian ceasefire. Also on the foreign scene, Israel and Hamas are ready for negotiations on Gaza ceasefire. In business, Nigeria and Ugandan are strengthening trade ties. In entertainment, Nigeria's Grammy Award Tems has acknowledged Seyi Shodimu's role in her success. And finally, in sport news, Kelechi Iheanacho has completed medicals ahead of his loan move. For Eyewitness Report news mentions and news commercials, contact the On FM newsroom at 0915 103 5555 or 0704 800 1035. I am Timi Topwedada. Thanks for listening.